Hi, you guys. So, how's everybody doing today? I'm gonna just do a quick little video and do my hair for you guys. I lost my big curler, so like in the midst of moving and whatnot. So I've been using like this small little wand thing, sort of, and I'm just not gonna curl my whole hair. It's too long, too much time, but um let's see, let's get into some story times. What was one of the stories you wanted to hear? Oh, y'all asked for high school drama, so like the tea. Girl, my high school days are, I mean, it's bittersweet, really, because it just, it wasn't like the best of the times for me. Like, it just wasn't the best of times. Like, before I hit high school, I just felt like a lot of, so like I just go ahead and curl it away from my face, basically. Oh, and I started too high, you see, because I'm just distracted. But for the most part, high school days, they're not like something that I'm so fond of, because it was a lot of like fights, you know, petty stupid fights. I just felt like I was always being tried. And like at first, before I hit high school, I was just like really nice, you know, like I wouldn't really let nobody get a reaction out of me. It was just like, whatever, people are talking. It didn't get bad until it got to the point where people were like trying to jump me, or you know, just like a lot of messy, petty stuff, like following me home. And mind you, I still wouldn't let them get a reaction out of me, but it wasn't until like, okay, you know what, you're actually putting your hands on me. Like, I'm over the whole, like, I'm done being nice, bitch, basically. Like, I could only take so much, and like, I didn't want to be that type of person, but I guess I ended up being that type of person, you know, that you occasionally got in fights just because a lot of females didn't know how to just like leave me the hell alone. I wouldn't really bother with no one. I wouldn't say that I was the one who started these problems, but it's like, chill out. Like, take a deep breath, girl. You are going to be okay. I don't know what about me really got under people's skin, but it was like always something. So, you know, we're sidetracking here. Basically, I'm gonna go into, well, I guess this goes. Basically before high school, so everyone started to try to be like, oh, you know, let's pick on her. So eventually I had to like stand up for myself, you know. Can't go out like that. You know, you win some, you lose some, but once I actually started defending myself, girl, less and less drama, because, you know, I guess that's what everybody wanted out of me. I don't know. Weird. But finally, like, oh no, you know what, I'm lying. So yeah, it was a lot of drama while I was in school. So then, yeah, girls wanted to follow me home, videotape, you know, jump me and all that. So after, and this was all at a new school. I changed schools quite a bit. So I think this was the school that I went to 7th and 8th grade, only 2 years. So everybody was clicked up, everybody knew each other. I wasn't really like one to like kiss no one's ass. So I was just like, basically, I guess, like to myself. And then like the people I attracted, and we were cool. But then there was a lot of like hatred coming from a lot of other people. It was just weird, very new to me. Like a lot of like messy stuff. So whatever, I lasted there until 7th grade. And then I believe in the beginning of 8th grade, right before 8th grade started, I got homeschooled for a little bit. But then that's when I started thinking, I was like, really, you're gonna go out like that? Like, you're gonna make these people, well, they didn't make me want to homeschool myself. Like, I didn't homeschool myself, obviously, but my mom put me in the whole homeschooling thing just because she was tired of dealing with it. It was always something new. It's like, you know, she was worried, obviously, like any mother would be. So then it wasn't until towards the middle that I was just like, you know what, put me back to school. We're gonna deal with this head on, and we're gonna see what happens, right? So then I go back to school, and it was like the same messy stuff. So I was like, y'all not tired? So whatever. I ended up like, people were trying to get under my skin and under my skin, so I wouldn't react, like fight back, but I was like, okay, just wait until we graduate, because I was really big on school. Like, I was very smart. I was always on honor roll. So let me rephrase that. I am very smart, and I was always on honor roll. So it was just like, you know what? Why would I let y'all get in the way of that? Let me finish school on the right track, and then after we're done, we can handle this. Whoever wants to handle it, right? Like, if y'all want to have a problem now, we're gonna have a problem after. So that's how I just like, you know what? I went to school, and like slowly but surely, oh my God, like I didn't really let anyone like get to me. So all right, come graduation day, everything's over with, right? I'm done. I don't have to see these people again. But something about me like was just like, you know what? Are you really gonna basically like get ran all over like your whole life? So you know what? I was just like, okay. I called out like every single girl, like one by one, who had a problem with me, like, and who tried to like make this big scene and follow me home with a group of kids. Like, one by one, I was just like, all right, let's do what you wanted to do these past 2 years, right? So we did, and it's crazy because, you know, a lot of them had like this energy that was just like crazy when they were around like a group of people. But like, once I did it by myself and they were alone, it was just like, girl, a completely different energy, let me just tell you. And so we ended up like getting into a little scruffle, you know, a little girl fight. And I ended up, you know, basically, I don't want to sound cocky, but you know, I won. So after that, it was just like, okay, whatever. Like, high school, I had a different mentality. Going into high school, I was just like, you know what, anything, any little thing, anybody want to mess with me, like, I'm gonna stand up for myself, and it's gonna be a problem. Which, mind you, I wasn't like that. So like, the fact that I guess like people really do turn like the nicest people into like these like, they just turn you like so nasty sometimes. And I was just like, I guess slowly but surely, I didn't even notice I was becoming the whole person that I didn't really want to be, you know. I didn't always want to be in the drama, but it's just like, I always had someone saying something here, there, everywhere. So it was just like, I made a promise to myself to always stand up for myself, no matter what, how big, how small or how big like the issue was. So come high school, it was like, girl, we are not gonna get these girls on the phone, shut up. Come high school, it was like a lot more, like, obviously a lot more people, a lot of new faces, and still the same issues, it seemed like. So a lot of girls still having problems, like, for no reason sometimes. Like, sometimes it's just like, you know, I'm not ugly, so like, I guess a pretty girl is really intimidating for some people, and everyone just wanted an issue. So whatever, I felt like I was always fighting, and it got so like overwhelming. Not overwhelming, but it just got so like this shit is a cycle. Like, it's always someone new, it's always some problems, like. And then I was feeding into it as well. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and sound like a saint. I was feeding into everything. Like, I was just like, all right, you want to say something. Let's talk then, you know? And it wasn't until like, well, this is what I regret. This was like, so throughout, like, obviously, I only lasted to sophomore year. Don't get me wrong. I got my GED. And when I went into high school, I was in IB classes, all types of stuff. Like I said, I was always on honor roll. So going into high school, I was in IB classes, very smart, until like all these problems started popping up again, and I was just feeding into it, and I ruined my chances. Like, I started like cutting school, like just going down the wrong path, basically, you know. And So I only lasted till sophomore year because there was so many fights and so frequently, and it was just like I was always in the office. I was getting arrested, cops calling my mom, principal calling my mom, come get your daughter, again, this happened, woo, woo, woo. So this is the one I regret because I guess like I missed out on a lot of stuff that I would have liked to experience throughout those 4 years of high school, which I only did 2. I got into this big fight, and it was like, I guess it was pretty bad because I ended up like kicking this person in her head. But that wasn't the worst part of it. I mean, that was pretty bad. Obviously, I apologize, I've never apologized personally to this person, but now that we're older, I obviously feel bad, because I think back at all these situations, all these fights were so petty that it's just like, why were we doing each other like that? But you know what, it is what it is. We live, we grow, and we learn, so we're human. But basically I ended up kicking this girl in the head, and it wasn't even the worst part. I thought, since I got jumped like previous to that, I thought like anyone around that ever tried to step in while I was fighting, like my first instinct was just like swing, just pop. Well, huge mistake, because I guess like me being so full of adrenaline and like not even paying attention, I had seen some of her friends like trying to hold me back, but like I didn't care. I was just like, doing my thing, and then I mistaken one of the teachers for one of her friends. Okay, that's not even the worst part here. The worst part is that this teacher was pregnant. So when I stuck her, like, she reacted like, oh my God, like I would too. Don't touch me while I'm pregnant, girl. But yeah, I ended up like sticking this teacher while she was pregnant, and it was just like, it was downhill from there. Like she had security like hold me down. Like she kept calling me an animal. She'd take her to jail. She's an animal. She needs to not be here. Woo woo woo. Mind you, at this time I was a sophomore. The girl that I fought was a senior, but like I guess it all just like fell on me mostly. So like whatever, the principal comes and I get taken down to the office, and they call my mom. And at this point it wasn't like no more suspensions or in-school suspensions or like little punishments here and there. It was like, all right, you can't come back to school until your mom shows up. And so we had to do just that, right? We showed up, and at this point, like, I was in the room with the girl that I fought and her parent, and then it's just like her parent was kind of like coming at me sideways, so my mom like kind of caught an attitude, and it was just all bad because the principal was just like, you know what, girl, you're expelled basically, and you won't be able to go to any CPS school unless you, like, he basically told my mom like, I'll allow you to transfer her out, that way she's still able to finish school like elsewhere, or we could just expel her right here right now, and it's over with. So whatever, my mom transferred me out. I was done with in this school, and then I ended up going to like this little place like called Pathways. I'm sure like it's like an alternative school mostly. Oh girl, what happened to this girl? It's like an alternative school, but it's just like basically like, I wouldn't say for fuck ups, even though that's what I was back then, but it was more like for people, I guess, who were just basically high school and all, like going to high school and attending regular high school was too distracting, I guess, or like girls that were pregnant at a young age, or guys who just couldn't seem to stay out of trouble, or people like me, obviously. So I went and I tried it, and it was just as distracting, probably even more because like everyone was there for kind of like being bad in a sense, or like just being off track. So it's like the environment didn't really change. It's just like, oh hey, what's up, everybody making friends, everybody talking, It was more like oh, let's get together and just sit and chill out. So I stopped going school altogether for about like a year or so, or probably longer than that. Like, don't get me wrong, I attempted to go back to Pathways like many times. Like, my mom kept re-enrolling me, and it's still like every time it just wasn't like, it wasn't working out for me. I guess it was kind of like the same environment, different place. So I ended up like, that's it with school. Like, I tried to get as many credits as I could, and it was just like, you know what, I don't know, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm disappointed in myself for it. I ended up going to Richard Daley, which is like this college. If you're in the Chicago area, you know what I'm talking about. But so I went to this college, and I ended up just like, at first I took the classes to get my GED, and then while I was taking the classes, I was just like, man, like, a lot of the stuff I know, a lot of the stuff I don't know. Like, I was just like, fuck it, let's wing it, and let me pay for these tests. I don't know if it was 3 or 4 tests. I forgot. This was a while ago. I think back in 2018 or 2019, something like that. I ended up taking the 4 tests, and you know you have to pay like a certain amount. I don't even remember how much I paid, like one something around there, like for 4 tests or 3 tests. I can't even tell you off the top of my head. I don't know. I would have to look it up, but I was like, you know what, screw the classes, let me just wing it, and hopefully, you know, something good comes of this. So I did just that, and guess what, your girl got her GED. So moral of the story, like, you're gonna go through a lot of things. Well, I went through a lot of stuff, like people, not people necessarily, but life, like obstacles and life situations really change you as a person depending on what you go through. And I just feel like I was very nice and naive at some point in my life, and it's just like, you can't really be that all the time, because people mistaken, you know, your kindness for weakness, or you being nice for you being like a punk or something, you know. So I guess I let people get the best of me, which is shame on me, but it is what it is. Like I said, you live, you learn. I definitely am a much better person now. Like, I don't let little subliminal comments, or, you know, just what anyone says, I don't really let people get a reaction out of me, and I don't waste my time on just anyone anymore. So like, girl, if you're not paying my bills, you're not running up a bag with me, you ain't doing nothing for my children, I really don't care. Like, I wouldn't waste no time on no one no more. Like, no matter, like, people are always gonna talk, and not everyone's gonna like you. And I learned that you don't gotta go fighting the whole world, you know, because everyone's gonna always have something to say. You can't be liked by every single body. It's just not possible. And so it is what it is. Definitely am in a different headspace. Like I'll let whoever say whatever. It's not until you touch me that, okay, then we'll have an issue, because, you know, it's only right. Like, if I'm not being touched, I could care less what someone says about me. If you don't like me, if you don't like the way I do things, if you don't like, you know, the way I maneuver through my life, I don't care. Like I said, it's just as simple as don't touch me, and like, you won't get a reaction out of me. Like, words are just words, and that's all it is. Like, I've got so much more to lose now that I wouldn't waste no time on the petty stuff or the drama. Another reason why I don't have too many girlfriends, you know, but like, it is what it is. We were born alone, hunty. We gonna die. No, chill, that's too deep. But you know what I mean. Y'all know it. Ooh, y'all know what I'm trying to get at. Real quick, because I'm talking too much, let me just go in and do some curls, and then we'll talk about something else. Hold on. All right, so I'm back with a few more curls. Like I said, I didn't do the whole hair, but it's whatever. I was gonna do myself some braids, but like 2 or something here, but I'm running short on time, you know, as always, per usual. And I'm just gonna hold it I like to hold my, I love to hold this side of my hair just because it gives you like a free, you know, facelift. Like, ooh, period. Ain't even had to go do nothing. Right now I'm just gonna get some ligas or whatever you call them. So I don't even know where we left off. We left off with the drama, right? But yeah, like I was saying, I don't want you guys to feel like as if, you know, I wouldn't call myself, like I don't want y'all to feel like, oh, in any way, like that I was a bully. Because no, I was far from that. I just think that it's just like, you get to a point and like you get tired of people's shit. And I just like decided to defend myself, you know. In most cases, like, yeah, after 8th grade and whatnot, once I hit high school, yeah, like I said, a lot of the stuff, like if I would have ignored it, it probably would have went away. But I made it a choice to, like, I guess, feed into the BS. So that was my fault. Like, I could have avoided a lot of things if I had just let people run their mouth and I had the mentality that I have today. But I mean, that was pretty much it for high school drama. It was like a lot of just petty stuff. I would definitely redo those years of my life and not let people get to me as much as I used to, because then I would have been able to experience, like, I didn't go to prom and things like that, so it was just like, it sucked. But definitely with my daughter, show her not everyone is worth your time, you know. You gotta pick your battles. And yeah, basically, like, till this day I still have, you know, some dramatic girls on my line, you know, trying to ruin my peace because they're miserable with the way things are going in their lives. But like, suck it up, buttercup, you will be fine, you know. I wouldn't waste no time, like I said, on nobody who's not worth it anymore or contributing. Like, if you're not making no impacts in my life. There's girls this age who still are like grown as hell trying to fight, and it's just like, ma, fight with yourself, you know. It's not my fault whatever you're going through in your life. Like, fight your damn self. We too grown for that. I got kids to worry about. It's just my energy and my peace is just so protected right now, and I've just been really about just everything, only the things that matter. And a lot of these situations don't matter to me anymore. So I know a lot of people hate that, but not everyone is worth you getting out of character for. Not everyone is worth you, whoa there, okay, boomerangs. Not everyone is worth, oh no, those are not boomerangs, I don't know what I'm talking about. But not everyone is worth basically your sanity, your peace, your self-love, you know. If you've come such a long way, the devil don't sleep, honey. People are gonna try you every other day. People are gonna make you, you know, like, if people see you got a lot going for yourself, there's gonna be a lot of, you know, hate thrown your way, negative energy, people who want to shift you and your focus. And guess what? It's just like middle fingers up, and that's it. You don't even have to say too much or do too much. You continue being you, and whether they hate it or love it, they're gonna have to deal with it, because, you know, they can't do much about it unless you give in and allow these people to, you know, mess with your happiness and you're like, you know, what you got going on right now. You know, we're much older now. Well, you know what? I'm 22 years old. I keep feeling like I'm like 40 for some reason. I don't know why. But definitely mentally, I'm way more matured than, and I know better than to deal with, you know, people who are just not worth it. And all the negativity that a lot of people want to bring into my life, girl, dude, whatever you are, you're just not worth it. And it sucks to suck, but I'm happy and content, and, you know, overly ecstatic, you know, jumping for joy. And you should be too. But other than that, I was gonna get into another story time, you know, gossip, sit here and talk to you guys. I could talk for days, but I'm gonna cut it short. Maybe in another video, I'll get to some more story times that you guys wanted to listen to. But for the most part, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little gossip time. Let me know what you guys want to hear. More of, less of, see more of, see less of. That's pretty much it for this video. Stay tuned. Stay pretty. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. And leave it a little like and comment if you guys want.